Prime Minister Narendra Modi's historic speech from the ramparts of Red Fort on Independence Day, speaking about the atrocities of the Baloch nationals and Balochistan. In fact, now Pakistan has moved, and it will issue a red corner notice and appeal to the Interpol to arrest Brahmdek Bukti, chief of the Balochistan Republican Party. In fact, joining me right now is Senior Minister in the Modi cabinet, Dr. Jitendra Singh. He has been speaking about the atrocities in POK in Balochistan as well. Sir, he has sought political asylum. He has spoken to times now, and he has said that they have been forced to the margins. They are staying in Geneva, Germany, in US, in London, but why not India? So will India perhaps take a call, and because Prime Minister Narendra Modi was very touched and emotional about the atrocities being committed?
No, you see, Aditya, taking the first part of your question first. As far as the kind of atmosphere that prevails in Balochistan and the kind of atrocities and kind of oppression being unleashed by Islamabad over the Baloch people, and also in the Pak-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, it hardly requires any reiteration, it hardly requires any evidence. I would rather say that Pakistan has become the epicenter of terrorism, not only in this region, for the world at large. And terrorism exported from Pakistan has become a matter of concern for the entire region, more so for India, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Having said that, the irony is that those who tend to raise voice against these atrocities being committed over there, or the human rights violations happening over there, are being subjected to further oppression. Right. So this is like adding fuel to fire. I'm not sure. I feel worried to think how in the days and months to come, the authorities or the powers that be in Islamabad would be able to deal with this kind of a situation, instead of trying to accept or trying to take the cognizance of the dissent which is happening, or the voice being raised against these atrocities. They are trying to be even more oppressive against those who have tried to point out this oppression.
But speaking about asylum, what Pakistan has now done is that the Balochistan Police Department has got in touch with the Interior Ministry. They are preparing a dossier on the sedition charges against him because he praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He welcomed his speech, and now he has put an emotional appeal to the government of India that please consider my request. Because I spoke to senior bureaucrats and diplomats, they said that the Prime Minister's office takes a call. So do you think that it will be only the Prime Minister he will take a call when he returns probably?
You see, that is not actually for me to answer. It will be out of turn for me to directly address what you are asking. But that brings to my mind another angle. I think this should be an eye-opener for those who, being citizens of India, try to commit sedition and then get away with it. So they have the cake and eat it too. Right. I think it is for them to learn a lesson from what is happening in Pakistan and how Pakistan deals with these kind of situations.
Also, sir, Nawaz Sharif was in Balochistan yesterday. In fact, Rahil Sharif, the other Sharif, was in fact, the power center was in Gilgit-Baltistan yesterday. Now, you have been talking about Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. He made a very aggressive statement. He took name of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also the RAW and said that they should know that their nefarious designs will not be successful in Pakistan. What would be the message that you would convey? Will you show them the mirror?
I think in brief, I would say that however much the two Sharifs may try, they cannot rewrite the history and they cannot belie the history. The history bears out that the erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir, which was handed over by Maharaja Hari Singh to become a part of Union, was over 2.4 lakh square kilometers or so, which is more than half of what is part of India today. And therefore Gilgit-Baltistan as well as the occupied part of Jammu and Kashmir are inherently part of the erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir, and they have to be by natural corollary to be a part of Indian Union, which would happen sooner than later.
One last question before I let you go. You're a very busy man, but I want to ask you, sir, Nawaz Sharif, when he went to Balochistan, he said that he has written a letter to the UNGA and said that Prime Minister Modi's words on Balochistan were very unwarranted and unfortunate, and UN should intervene in this matter yet again. Also, there have been reports that All India Radio may start a Balochi language news capsule. Also, there have been reports that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was very touched. He said humanity does not end at the borders, and he has directed the Ministry of External Affairs and Information and Broadcasting to see how to get in touch with the Baloch Baloch people and look into what their demands are, what their atrocities are being committed. So the government of India is not letting this go. It will highlight the plight. It will, raise this issue.
You see, it's a very significant point that you have made. Now, I like to put it in two parts. A, that I would not fall by the bogey of so-called interference in Pakistan's internal affairs or whatever, because it is not merely the question of interfering or not interfering, it is also the question of safeguarding your own security aspects. When you have fire in your neighborhood and your immediate neighborhood, for example, if you have a boundary wall with the adjacent house and the adjacent house is on fire, you are likely to be impacted sooner or later, and therefore it becomes your responsibility to protect yourself. And therefore any kind of unrest or any kind of this fiery situation happening in Pakistan and in a province like Balochistan is bound to impact India, and therefore we have a responsibility and a right to protect ourselves and raise our voice about we cannot build a heaven inside and leave a hell outside. So if there's a hell next to our four wall, we have to be worried about it. We have to be concerned about it. Second part, as far as the Baloch language bulletin, etc. is concerned, you see, we have an external languages division or external services division, which the I&B ministry and the AIR authorities would be better able to explain to you, which have this provision of having news bulletins in different languages, different foreign languages, not only Baloch. So I don't know why they are so touchy about it. It is just an attempt as an attempt to reach out to maximum number of viewers or maximum number of listeners across the world through different mediums of instruction. That's about all.
All right. Thank you very much. That was Senior Minister